presence of evil around me through the spirit of discernment. But after seeing Jesus, it's like my eyes were opened. I could also literally see demons. And I know some people are going to say, yes, we said it. You know, you must have seen a different Jesus, because here he's saying he's seen demons. But honestly, I would be walking, or I would be being around people that I know, and I would see demons on them. Like I'm not talking in my sleep. I would see demons on people, and the Lord would tell me, go and tell that person, that there is a demon after them, and they need to give their lives to him so that he can set them free. I remember one young man, he was addicted to drugs. You know, he used to work at the bank, and he had cars. You know, he was successful. But he got addicted to drugs to the point that he would smoke the drugs even at work. You know, he would use the drugs even at work, until it happened that he lost the job, and he lost some of the cars that he had, and he was having trouble now with his parents because, you know, of his use of drugs. So one day when I saw him, if you all know if you see on television, the Grim Reaper.
Yes, I know exactly.
I saw literally the Grim Reaper, you know, on him. And the Lord told me that the enemy wants to kill that young man. So go to him, tell him the spirit that you see upon him, and tell him that I am willing to set him free if he gives his life. If he gives his life to me. I went to him and I ministered to him. I'm telling you today, I don't know if he gave his life to Jesus, but he accepted the prayer. He received the prayer. Today he's drug free. You know?
Amen. Brother Joshua. I wanted to say one thing real quick.
Yes.
A long time ago now, about maybe 9 years now, I was a drug addict. I was an addict to everything. I mean, pretty much every debased thing, that was me. And I got to the point where I was doing drugs off my desk at work and doing all kinds of stuff like that. But God was merciful to me. He held me, and he didn't let the enemy take my life. But what I'm getting to is that after I was born again, when I heard the gospel, and I finally understood it, I finally realized that it was Jesus was the one who did it for me. That I could never be a better person. I could never do these things on my own. I could never quit doing drugs. And it was so amazing to be delivered from all that. But that's besides the point. Fast forward about 3 months, and I told people this, and I just don't think they believe me. But I woke up one night after having the most wonderful dream about the Lord. I know I was in heaven, and I experienced a joy and a bliss that was so strong that I felt like I would literally die if the Lord kept me there any longer. Well, when I woke up, I seen 3 demons at the end of my bed, and I knew these 3 demons were the ones that were trying to wreak havoc on my life that Christ set me free from. And they all were standing there. They had black cloaks on. You couldn't see their faces. It was just darkness. And their arms were crossed, and they had long sleeves. And all 3 of them were sitting there staring at me. And I remember just having a perfect peace. I was not afraid no more. And I was like, thank you, Jesus, for setting me free from this horrible garbage. But ever since then, I don't talk about it often. But like you, I see things sometimes that it's startling. It's startling. But I understand, and I totally agree with that representation of what they look like. Ugh, they're crazy.
So I said that story to say this. By the way, if I may elaborate a little bit further about the story of the young man. So when I told him that I see this Grim Reaper looking demon waiting for him, waiting to kill him. So I told him, I'm seeing this demon standing in your house, there by the door, inside the house. So he was smoking then. So he took a cigarette because he was not a believer. So I saw him. I don't know if he was aware that I was watching him. I saw him take a cigarette. That was how do you say lit? And then yes, he went there to where I saw the demon, and I could see him trying to burn the demon with the cigarette. But I told him, no, that's not how you do it. You have to give your life to Jesus. That's how you can be set free. And today, as I say, he's set free from. He's no longer a drug addict. So I said that. I said that to say this. I know demons. I can sense them. I can feel them. I see them sometimes when the Lord allows me, when He wants to set someone free. And I can even give you more details about the Grim Reaper. The Grim Reaper, what I saw, I've heard other people speak about this. The black sort of cloak thing that he wears is not a literal cloth, It looks like a cloth, but when you come close to it, it's like black smoke. I don't know. It's like a darkness that is alive. It's like, I've heard people say this, describe this when they are in hell. It's like a darkness that you can feel rubbing off your skin, but a darkness that is like alive. That's how the cloak. That's what I saw when I saw the Grim Reaper one day. So I'm just trying to say to people, I would know a fake Jesus. There's a couple of people, maybe 2 people recently I saw online. They are telling people that I've seen a false Jesus, and some people are buying to it, all the way up to America, from Africa, let me see, and all the way up to America. But I'll leave that up to the Lord to sort it out. Amen. But the spirit of discernment is a gift that God has given me, for me to be able to tell between darkness and the light. And I'm sure, Mr. Potter, since you've been working with the Lord for many years, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Discerning between spirits. Knowing if this is God speaking. And another way of making sure you don't walk in error when God has spoken to you. Another way is to rush to come out. Like if God gives you a dream, a vision, or you hear His voice, He speaks to you, you need to pray over that. You need to take time. Yeah. You need to seek Him over that before you rush. I was told 2018, and only started to make something that, started to come out with a message later on. I've had years to pray over this, to seek God over this, to confirm, have I really heard from, not have I really heard from the Lord, like for asking the Lord to confirm what He told me, let me see, when He appeared to me. So I guess, me trying to justify my revelation or my vision of Jesus, it won't help. People will just have to see what I've been talking about. And I'm telling you, the rapture of the church will take place on the 23rd. I see there are already videos there out there saying the 23rd, the rapture has not happened. So, but we are still on the 23rd. We are still on the 23rd. Yes. On the 23rd and the 24th, the rapture of the church will take place.
So, exactly. Brother, I'm glad you brought that up because it is officially 12:04 in the morning in Jerusalem on the 24th. So it's officially the 24th in Jerusalem. So what are your thoughts? Because I know that when we've discussed this prior, you were pretty convinced that we wouldn't be at this place yet. So what are you thinking right now?
So, yes, those 2 days, let me say those 2 times, 6:30, there's a noise somewhere.
Get it down. Yeah.
I think that's you, Lewis. I'm going to mute you for a second. Go ahead, brother. What did you say?
Okay. I'm saying those two times as I would say 6:30, or 6:36 Israel time and midnight Israel time were my two watch times, But me, where I am now, it is 11:05. I'm still hopeful. I have 55 minutes, to go. I myself. So yes, I was watching the time of Israel, because since I know the Lord always or looks at Israel when he does things, but I'm still at the 23rd, so I have about 54 minutes now, So I'm still on the 23rd, so I don't have much thought because I'm waiting to be raptured.
And I want to throw in, by the way,
Yes.
I wanted to wait till if we got to this point, but last night before
Yes.
I did this live stream, I did some calculations. Okay. And there is a 22-hour window where all time zones on the entire planet are all within the 23rd and the 24th, meaning nobody on the 22nd and nobody on the 25th, all time zones, the entire planet on the 23rd and the 24th, okay? There's a 22-hour window for that, all right? And that 22-hour window is from 8 a.m. my time on the East Coast of the United States on the 23rd until 6 o'clock in the morning on the 24th, my time, okay? So we are still within the window where for the whole planet, it's still the 23rd and the 24th, okay? And we will be in that window for another 13 hours, okay?
Sure.
Okay.
So now, once it goes to 7 o'clock in the morning, my time, we have now had Christmas Island, which is 18 hours ahead. They're like way ahead. They will have entered onto the 25th. So, I didn't mention that earlier because you seemed very confident that, we would be going on the 23rd. So we still have time. We're in that window where the whole world is on the 23rd and the 24th. Now, Shelley on the East Coast and Jack on the East Coast, they are the ones that are furthest behind. And for them right now, it is 2 o'clock. Is that right, Jack? 2 p.m.?
Yeah, 2:08 in Pacific Standard Time.
So for her, it won't be the 24th until for another, what is that? I'm terrible at math.
10 hours.
10 hours, thank you. God gave me the 2,550 days. I still don't get that. But yeah, so 10 hours. So 10 more hours before we get to the 24th on the Pacific coast of the United States. Now, that said, I mean, obviously there's going to be a lot of folks who are feeling not so good right now. What would you say to them?
Okay, Mike. Not feeling not so good.
Like worried, distressed, anxious, afraid.
Based on what? Based on the amount of hours left until we are off.
Well, because I think we were all looking at Israel, right? And now Israel's on the 24th. And so I think people are now, maybe some people might be losing hope in the message. And that's what I wanted you to maybe address.
Okay. So I don't know if I get you, Mike. I don't know if I get you. I honestly don't know if I get you. So, but what I wanted to say was Israel for me was a possible high watch, but Israel is not the only time that I'm looking at. I'm looking at it holistically, the different time zones of the world. So I'm going to, let me say, I'm going to refrain giving hope to someone who is not even out of, if everybody in the world right now is within the time zones, of the 23rd and the 24th, and nobody's on the 25th, no, I don't think I want to give hope to such a person. I don't know. Am I giving hope to the panic that the time is getting smaller or closer to being over? I don't know. What am I giving hope to? I don't know.